Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So again, hopefully a short video. We spoke previously about declension paradigms. Let's come up here. Said that, look, we have learned our basic table of declension, but we have said that, well, I would be lying if I said that this is it. Though there's a bit more. It looks like a lot more, but it's actually just a bit more. But we learned that there are different types of nouns. And according to the type of noun, the table is going to vary accordingly. And the different types of these tables are called paradigms. So exactly the same thing for verbs. Just literally transplant that understanding to verbs. There are different types of verbs, and each type has its own paradigm. That sounds daunting, but it's not. All it is saying that you've got your basic fa'ala yaf'alu. You just vary it ever so slightly. And remember, you're varying it. So again, if I haven't said it enough times already, master that table because it's the key to mastering every table. You just master one table which I've given you, then you can master every single verb table very easily afterwards. So again, we're not going to go through this in absolute detail because there's no need for that. But we do need to understand the idea that there are different types of verbs. And by types, I don't mean the verb forms. We spoke about that last time. By types, I mean that the way it rhymes, the way it sounds changes sometimes. Let's just give a quick 101 about why and how that happens. Very simply, it usually doesn't. If it does, it's because one of its root letters, one of its three root letters, is one of the what are called the huruf al-illah. Illah can basically means the cause of something or the connection of a thing, something which changes the thing somehow. So an illness is sometimes called an illah because an illness is something which comes to you, hits you, connects you, goes inside of you and changes you. So some people call these the sickly letters, which is a very weird thing to call letters. They're not sickly. They're just letters which cause the word to change. There are three. And a good way of understanding them is they're actually fluid letters because they're very fluid. The alif, waw, and ya. O, e. Right? If you have a fatha before an alif, it becomes not a, or dhamma before the waw, oo, a kasra before the ya, e. So already we've seen an example of this. I'll put that, I might add this to the notes here. Extended vowels. Well, when we have these letters, the word itself is changing. This is about sort of morphology. The morphe, the shape of the word is changing. And it all comes back to these three letters. So in Arabic, there's three types basically. A verb can be mithal, ajwaf, and naqis. It's a nice English translations for these, which I don't remember just now. So give me a bit of time for that. But essentially, if one of these three letters is at the beginning of the verb, then it's mithal. For example, wada'a. Wada'a means to put down. The first letter is waw. Waw is a fluid letter. Wad is good, ayn is good. So the beginning of this verb might change. It's a fluid letter. The idea of the fluid letters is that they can change between themselves. A waw can become a ya, it can become an alif. Vice versa. Any one of these can become the other two if the conditions are right. In fact, I can explain what the conditions are very simply. If you can have O here, right? You can have O, but you can't have U. This is all. It's about understanding the shapes of Arabic sounds. ooh, good. Oh, good. Eel is eel. You don't like that. So eel becomes e. We can have e, great. A, maybe not as nice, but good. Oi, nope. Oi is oi, that's disgusting. The oi becomes ooh. So you see that the oi, ooh, yeah changes to wow. Eel, e, wow changes to yeah. Qala. Qala means to say. The root is actually qaf, wow, lam. So the form, the verb stem is qawala. Qawala, the what sound is not that nice. It's not in a word at least. So qawala becomes qala because nice. So I did say oh is usually okay, but the awa for some reason awa is not nice. Awa becomes qawala qala. Similarly, aya, you have jara, which means to flow. Jim, ra, ya. So the asl is jara ya, but aya not nice. So it becomes jara. And if you just learn literally what I said, that's basically actually 90% of verb morphology done, noun morphology. This is one of those things where courses, Arabic courses, put so much time into explaining this when it's actually dead easy. I just explained this in 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, 1 minute. And do believe me, that's all there is, really. And you can take any verb just with those simple rules and basically conjugate it right now. Which is why when I teach Arabic, I don't put much importance into this, frankly speaking. Believe me, maybe you've experienced this. Most courses, half of the entire course is this. Really, half of the entire course, they spend weeks and weeks and weeks on this. When you don't need to, just do what I said. Memorize the fa'ala stuff. Memorize what I said to memorize. And as I promised, it will all make sense. If you memorize that, all of this stuff just so quickly trickles down like a rushing waterfall. A trickle becomes a gushing water burst. So yes, we can speak about this in more detail, but we don't need to for now. We have this plus plenty of practice and reading and experience. Then at some point, what we do is we come back to this and we just hammer it out in detail, not to learn, but to fill in any gaps and to create a set of notes which we have. But for now, that's all we need. Maybe I'll modify these notes and add what I said about these basic rules. But so you see, you're going to have different paradigms, as I just said. For example, qala, it's a new paradigm. Qawala becomes qala, and yaqulu, yaf'alu, yaqwadu becomes yaqulu. Again, we'll come into that. In fact, you can basically make sense of it just given what I said. Yaqwalu, what don't like whats. We like as and oohs and e's. We like those. One small thing, this isn't really even needs much attention, but you have what's called the doubled verbs. The fi'l al-mudha'af. Mudha'af means to double something up. Can you guess what it might mean to double a verb up? Well, the answer is right there. It's where two of the root letters are literally doubled up. They're the same. For example, madda, mim, dal, dal. It means to extend. Madda. And so it should be fa'ala madada. But madada, dada, madda. Right? Madada, madda. Qalla means to be little or few. It was qalala, fa'ala, qalala, qalla. That's all that occurs. And in fact, it unwinds when you go back to, for example, fa'al tu. It goes back to normal. It's madad tu, qalal tu. So sometimes in books and in courses, they say, look, there's a change going on here. Do you notice that madda is changing? And they confuse you even more than you're already confused. And they say that, look, madda is changing. And there's the infikakul dhamma or infikakul idgham. Then they make you learn what infikak means and they go into tajweed. And so you understand that why madda is becoming madda tu and not mad tu, whatever it would be. Well, the way I do it is that, well, what on earth would it be otherwise? You go, tell me what fa'altu would be for madda. It's just the same thing. Fa'altu madadtu. Nothing is occurring. The only thing which is changing is madada becomes madda. So is there even any need to speak about this verb? Not really, but just for the sake of completion, there it is. And so that's really all we need to know about that. And that's all we need to know about all of this for now. So if I haven't reiterated it a million and one times already, I will. I will just not. I'll be lying if I said this was the last time. But you've got this stuff. Your pronouns. Learned all this. Uh, we learned our demonstrated relative pronouns. I gave you the way of how to learn these things very easily with practice. Maybe I'll help you with the practice, make some more videos about that. Then we have a verb conjugation. Again, nice table. You can write this out, make your own, join them together. And that's all there is. Memorize this, master this, and I really do promise you, and hopefully you begin to see how I can promise this, that you are 80% of the way there to learning Arabic. You really are, inshallah. In fact, let me just end this video with a treat. I will make another video about this. So I have made one table, putting all of this stuff together. This is all the verb stuff. Got your pronouns, both your subject and your object, your past and your present. It's all there in one table. So everything I said to memorize, here it is again. This is all you need. Stare at this long because it's not much. And I do say this because that if you don't do this, I promise you, you can learn Arabic for the next 5 to 10 years, and you're still not speaking Arabic. Maybe you're reading along and trudging along by book, but that's boring. What good is it if you learn Arabic, but at the end, the only thing you learn is how to translate Arabic into English. So you pick up some a book or even the Quran, but all you're doing is you're just reading Alhamdulillahi, Alhamdu, Hamd is praise, or yeah, that their praise is all because it's subject, Alhamdu. Lillahi, oh yeah, Allah is this and is Ali, and then it's Lillahi because it's Jar Majrur. What type of way is that to learn Arabic? That's not Arabic. If you're actually thinking like that, that's not Arabic. Arabic, Al-Arabiya is when you just say Alhamdulillahi wa تذوق المعنى وتستشعر العظمة قبل كنه الجلالة أمامك. That's Arabic. That's Arabic. And inshallah, that's my vision for Arabic, for teaching Arabic. I want you to feel Arabic in your hearts, in the hearts of hearts, more than I wanting you to speak some beautiful, eloquent Arabic. That's just flashy. That's for show. That's for the dunya. Forget about that. I want you to understand Arabic in your heart. I want your heart to speak Arabic and be spoken Arabic and understand it in its native glory. And this is the path towards doing that. Then, tiny table just for all of your demonstrative and relative pronouns. And let's leave that here, inshallah. Wassalamu alaikum.